This bill is part of an election integrity package put forth by the Secretary of State to further strengthen election security, ensure timely delivery of registration applications, protect personal information, and ensure those conducting voter registration drives are educated about election laws within Louisiana. House Bill 506 pertains to the rules governing organizations that conduct voter registration drives and places penalties for the failure to submit completed voter registration applications by the deadline in the appropriate election offenses statute. This bill requires any individual or organization that conducts voter registration drives to register their drive in the manner prescribed by the Secretary of State. Currently, registering is voluntary for individuals or organizations conducting voter registration drives. This bill also requires individuals and organizations conducting voter registration drives to acknowledge the requirements that govern voter registration activities and election offenses. The bill also requires completed voter registration applications to be submitted to the parish registrar of voters by, number one, the current deadline of 30 days of receipt of the completed application, or two, no later than a voter registration deadline, whichever occurs first. This bill places the deadline to submit completed registration applications within the appropriate election offense statute.
Good morning, everyone. Looking at this and the reason we wanted to make sure everything is done correctly and we don't get penalized, me being a former incarcerated person, I gained my voting rights at 19. And I was told how to fill it out, make sure. Now, the organization Vote, we do a lot of voter registrations across the state. And I have actually called the Secretary of State's office to pick up packets, to pick up, sometimes they give me ink pens, they give me the little thing for the Go Vote app, all of that. But at no time has anybody said that I needed to register. So that's why I'm opposed to this, because one of the reasons, it sounds like we're killing voter registration drives, but listening to people are going to say that's not true. But it seems like it's being oppressed, because now we get forms and we do vote, like I said, year round. We do it at probation and parole. We do it at jails. We do it for the people that's pretrial detainees, all of these things. So I'm trying to find out, our organization probably, have we ever been accused of doing something wrong? I've never gotten a phone call or anybody in our office that we did something wrong, because if we do a voter registration on a Saturday or Sunday, I'm going to make sure on Monday morning, I'm going to take those forms to the registrar's office.
Yeah, Mr. Yancey, I'm not going to speak for the author, but I don't think they're accusing anybody of doing anything. And obviously your organization does a good job of what you do from everything we can tell. So this is not any accusation on Vote or any other organization.
We want to make sure that, sir, and I appreciate that, and appreciate you noticing that we're around doing. I do voter registration, say the NAACP or the sorors that are doing something, and they say, hey, man, would you come down and explain, especially now that former incarcerated people can vote, because it's not on the website what's going on about the 5 years and what you have to do. So we have to explain that to people. And we try to be very, very thorough, but I've heard the secretary say that they've contacted groups that's messing up. I don't think we've ever been contacted about messing up.
That might tell you, that might tell you something.
Am I going to get a penalty now if when they give me a pack, I don't count how many forms they're giving me. They just give me a stack of forms with pens, with the pamphlet that the Secretary of State puts out about voting and all of that. But now am I going to be penalized and maybe go to jail for something that we're trying to do to help people?
We ask you the questions, you don't ask us the
Right, right.
questions.
And-
You've been here before, you know this process.
And I guess I'm asking the question because we want to be clear about how we're doing voter registrations and making sure that we're doing them correct, because I'm getting texts now, people are watching this across the state right now, and we all are wondering what's going on here. Is it a problem with something? And I like I said, I can't ask the question, but say if I give you this right quick. We did voter registration drives in Jefferson Parish. So that weekend, we did a voter registration drive. That Monday, the guy went to the registrar's office and turned them in. And guess what happens when we go to the registrar? They look at everything and make sure everything is correct in that form. So I'm wondering now, why are we going down this rabbit hole?
Mr. Chico, thank you for your group vote and your commitment to making sure everybody has a fair opportunity to participate in the process. Do you think this in any way will deny or make it difficult for groups to register to vote? What's your opinion on that?
Listen, that going back and forth. My opinion now is this is going to be hard on folks that's trying to do the right thing and helping people. So I think it could be a deterrent.
And your group understands how to register to vote, and you all have had no problems in the past. Is that correct?
Well, I'll say this. I have not known of the Secretary of State or the Attorney General or anybody else that called our office and said, you did something wrong. Because we try to make sure we do everything right.
And your objective is to make sure all of the groups understand the issues and make sure that they participate in the process. Is that correct?
As best we can, sir.
All right. No further questions. Thank you.
Since 2018 and we passed a law in 2019, you were able to get your voting rights back. Have you seen anything in terms of education as it relates to felons being able to vote other than vote doing it?
No, ma'am. We've been in the committees here. We've actually been in court about that to make sure that the Secretary of State would put it on the website what the qualifications are for former incarcerated people.
So that's not on our website currently?
Well, I haven't looked at it this morning, but no.
And is that something you would like to see happen?
I would like to see it happen.
I think I just requested that of our secretary. We have a new Secretary of State. I'm sure she wants everybody to vote, and she will help us to get that accomplished. So thank you for your work, and thank you for continuing to let formerly incarcerated people know after 5 years that they can vote in the state of Louisiana. And I know that's something that's on in other PDF forms in other states, and it's nothing that we couldn't accomplish here because we want everybody to vote. And I want to join the Secretary in helping make sure that that includes people who were formerly incarcerated and former felons. Thank you so much.
And may I ask, may I say this? It looks like in this session, now they want to come and take our voting rights back.
Well, I'm sure the Secretary won't be for that because she just told us she wanted everybody to vote. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Yancey. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Representative Marcel.